Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet, and welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today, oh Lord, I don't know, I just woke up like I said in the chat, uh, can extra healthy side helping of oatmeal, okay? There's the only thing I can think of. I like oatmeal, hope you do too. Oh, sorry about that, chat. Uh, I had laid down for a nap and thought I would get up in time because my wife was supposed to come to bed, and that will usually wake me up, but she didn't come to bed after she picked up the girls. So, and I wouldn't be awake now if my manager at work hadn't have called me. It woke me up. Oh Lord! But I was so sleepy, needed that nap. I do got links sent out, so we'll see if if Monkey or Alex shows up. Uh, and hold on just a second. I have set my phone down somewhere, and my manager is trying to get a hold of me. I can tell. Oh, there it is. Oh, that was from the last time. Well, this stream's getting a real good start, isn't it? Eh, so I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Um, yeah, it's okay. Okay, so yeah, in case you just got in, the stream's late starting because I laid down for a nap and just woke up. Yes, Iceman Oatley, and I realized that I'm late, and I'm explaining why. uh, I uh, took a nap and laid down and took a nap about 12:30, and just woke up. So yeah, I hurried as fast as I could, but here we are. Anyway. Uh, Considering that I had just woke up and the only thing that woke me up was my manager, I'm not I'm not doing too bad actually. Because I didn't have any cigarettes made or anything. Kyler says the stream's like a diesel, takes a bit to warm up. Yeah, especially today. Anyway, hey guys, how are you all doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Um, I'm doing fairly good. John Connor, you betcha, always. Uh, Actually, just as I was starting to stream, my wife was handing me a bottle of Mountain Dew, and I had already poured a cup of coffee. Coffee machine was still on from before I took a nap. And yeah, I know that means it sat there for 2 hours, but I don't mind strong coffee. I like strong coffee, so. uh, she guesses it's a '90s song. Said I'm not sick, but I'm not well. Yeah. Uh, they're going nuts down here too, Chin, over the whole virus thing. The Big Ten college sports championship for basketball is they're not going to let fans in. They're going to play the games to empty stadiums. Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. One of the schools here has had a case of it. Uh, and they're just going nuts. It's just stupid. I mean, I get it. There are people who are very high at risk, like elderly, like my dad. I have not been to see my dad. I'm doing the best that I can to keep, if because just in case I've been exposed, I don't want to carry it with me. Uh, but I'm still not panicking, people. This isn't the world-ending virus that it's being purported to be. So yeah, world, calm down. My gosh, and it's just being overblown. It's just being overblown. But on that note, I did hear a song this morning that I laughed at. You all know I listen to Bob and Tom, And some of them on there got together and done a song under the guise of being a band named ACDC, not ACDC, ACDC, like the Center for uh, the Control of Diseases. And they done a parody of the song Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And they done it very well, by the way. But it was Dirty Hands Must Be Washed. It was pretty funny. Yeah, she read my Corona exactly. I was thinking about that the other day. Actually, that exact title, my Corona. But yeah, it's dumb. I'm glad we've got. There's only two of us. We got plenty enough toilet paper for right now for the two of us, and stuff like that. Um, And what angers me is MSM and idiots are blaming President Trump. I'm like, really? Yeah, I seen that. They're saying that he didn't do enough. What was he supposed to do? If he closes the borders, you call him a racist. And what more are you going to do? I mean, what can be done has been done. And like I said, this is not the world ending virus it was purported to be. Wash your hands, people. That's the best thing you can do right now. Wash your hands and stay away from high at risk people. If you're out in the public, stay away from those in your family that are high risk, like the elderly and those with respiratory diseases. Stay away from them until this passes. You know, that's that's all you can do. It's the best you can do. The people are stupid. I was telling that to my grandkids daughters this morning. I gave them a lesson in people are stupid. I want to raise them up right. You know what I mean? Raise them up right. So gave them a lesson in people are stupid. But yeah, all the empty soap shelves makes me wonder were they not washing their hands before? Exactly. Exactly. It's just it's stupid. And people, I'm somebody I have to constantly handle people's money. When I reach for the money, sometimes our hands touch. You know, there's lots of people up there sniffling and snotting when they're standing in front of me. If it comes through here, I'm probably going to get it because there's no way in my job that I could avoid contact. I cannot, and I'm not going to get all bent out of shape about it. It's concerning, like I said, for those that are at high at risk. I certainly wouldn't want my dad to get it or none of the people in the old folks' home he's in. So I'm staying away. I'm doing what I can to keep from being, um, from spreading it if I've been exposed. But I'm not going to go in some world-ending panic, start stockpiling supplies, and arm myself like this is the zombie apocalypse. It's just I just don't I don't understand people. Uh all these alcohol loads for hand sanitizers. I hadn't thought about that, but I bet you're right, Iceman. Iceman Iceman Northland. I bet you're right. I had never thought about that. Uh yeah, eliminating physical currency, but that's not gonna happen. Not in my business. That's exactly what the last thing people want to do is panic. Panic causes stress, and that affects the immune system. Yeah, it does. It does. So it just is what it is. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, mm, you know, great. I'll do what little bit we can do. And I'm telling you what, you could wash your hands all you want. You could wear a mask, you wear rubber gloves, but if you're going to get the darn thing, you're going to get it. I don't care what you do. You're going to get it. It is very virulent. It's just not all that deadly comparably to other world pandemics we've had. It's just not. It's just not the world ender that it's being purported to be. Um, no, House Democrats have signed on to the No Ban Act to stop Trump from being able to executively issue travel bans. Under Democrats' plan, travelers directly from Wuhan, China, can enter the U.S. Yeah, I know, but TOS. But at the same time, they want to say that he's not doing. I've seen Soapfane on Twitter saying that Trump has really missed the boat and screwed this up and not done anything to protect the country from this virus. Well, the one big thing he could do, you guys are fighting him on. People just make me crazy. They make me crazy. Um, Forced to buy TP because they were actually down to 2 rolls in the house. I still made fun of him. Well, good on you, Grilling Pirate Pete, because that's what y'all do. Make fun of family. That's the thing. Yeah, I've got this weekend off too, Kyler, which I almost didn't. And I'll get off the virus and I'll get onto that and a little bit about what the title's about while I'm still waiting to see if my guests are going to show. Since I had such a late start, if they don't, it's all on me, because they would have seen the Twitter shout out now, which didn't happen because I was sleeping. But due to that, my first question I asked, how old was the dead man woman? Yeah. Or did they have some kind of respiratory issue? Were they high at risk? And I am going to send out a tweet. Give me just a second if I get quiet to let people know that we're live. So you know me, I have a hard time typing and talking at the same time. We'll get this out. And there it goes. Tweet is sent. So hopefully we'll get some more people. Snoop Dogg is at higher risk. The Radical Left just wants to claim. They do. They want to blame everything on Trump. And this isn't Trump's fault. There's just, you're limited on what you can do in such things. And I'm telling you, I think you could make a complete travel ban, no one in or out, and the virus is still going to find its way in here. The viruses are funny like that. It just is. So it's just. But anyway, about the title, and just before I laid down to take my nap, my manager called and said that one of the fellas at one of the other stores in town, across town, hadn't showed up and wanted to know if I would go work, not today, but because they had today covered, but wanted to know if I work close tomorrow and Saturday, which means I would work 1 to 7. In my mind, I really don't want to because it's across town, but yeah, I need the hours. So I said, yeah, I'd do it. Well, she's the reason I woke up when I did, because she's calling me to let me know, don't worry about it, because they thought he was a no-call, no-show. That person just read the schedule wrong, and it's covered, so I don't have to come in. So it's not going to be as busy as I thought when I made the title. However, it is going to be very, very, very busy for me, because starting Monday, this next week, I will start my training for assistant manager. And I hadn't been talking about it lately because nothing had been going on. They've been waiting to get other people trained. And I thought maybe they'd forgot about it, but I wasn't going to bug them too much about it. So, but yeah, so that means for the next 2 weeks, I'll be working Monday through Friday. And I start at 6:30 a.m. And they technically say I get off at 1:30, but that's usually when they go to the bank and stuff. So I'm not counting on being able to get off at 1:30 either. I'll get off when I get off. management now. So that's the way that it is. Although I'm hourly management, I'm not, I'm certainly not, uh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I am still hourly. But yeah, thanks, guys. Didn't really want to do it. I wanted to, in the last years of my working years, I figure I got about another 5 years. I got to retire. I kind of wanted to take it easy, but I just wasn't making enough money. And I have to do that. And thank you, Maddie. I've liked and shared. Much love to you, Peppa. Thank you. I know that you've been sick and you're working on a video and you can't stay, but that's good. Uh, that's good. Yeah, and Shio, you think that's funny, do you? Yeah, but basically that's the way that it is. I mean, it says 1:30 on the schedule, but I'll guarantee you I will not get out of there at 1:30. There's just it won't happen because there's just too much to do, because that's usually the time they go to the bank and go to the store to buy pops to put in our pop cooler and stuff like that. So yeah, there'll be things to do. Um, yeah, I might, Jen. I might hear. I was waiting to see if Monkey or Alex. I sent them both to see if they showed up, but they're either not seeing uh their invites, or they're not able to come, which is fine. It's just fine, you know. Schools closed on travel in the big ain't no migration travel ban. Yeah, yeah. I just seen your DM, Shio. Yeah, and of course we've already kind of talked about that, but um, it's stupid. It's stupid. Monkey's probably asleep. Yeah, and who knows with Alex? He gave me a big, got all over me on Twitter about not sending him an invite one day last week, and but that's Alex. Um, I hope the storms I'm getting ain't coming your way. I don't know, Angry Illinois. They're calling. It's been a very bright, very beautiful day here in the 60s, in the low 60s, like 60, 61, something like that. But that's very nice for this time of year. And but yeah, it as far as I can tell, it's not coming this way. But if you're in Illinois, it would make sense that it's coming here next, because what you get, I usually get a little bit later. um, Cryptic is clearing the inventory of the disposable surgical mask. Might be, could be. Uh, we got rain coming for the next 6 days. They say, Pat, it's rained here for the last month. I mean, if it didn't rain, it snowed. And I'm serious. Even after it warmed up, it rained. Now, it might have only just been a light mist the whole day, but that's rain. And it's just been miserable until today's really the first day it didn't rain in a while. Um, I think that, though, that here we are pretty much done with the cold weather and the snows. We're out of February, we're into March, and usually that's not a guarantee. I've seen it snow. Heck, I've seen it snow during the race, which is in May here in Indiana. So anything's possible. But I'm pretty sure that we're out of it now. We might have a cold day here and a cold day there, but as far as getting big snow dumped on us or anything, I think we're out of that risk. Uh, but which makes me happy. Which was one of the reasons I was so tickled to hear my cardinal because that is a signal that spring is here. When they return and start to sing, because they are migratory and they do leave for the winter. Uh, but it's not rained yet here in southernmost Illinois, but it sure is foggy. Hmm, hadn't rained, huh? Well, here, your neighbor Indiana, it sure rained a bunch. I remember living in Minnesota. We didn't have spring. The snow didn't disappear till June. Oh, see, I would like that. Gotta have some spring. Gotta have some spring. Hear them birds sing, and all that stuff. But let's see here. Uh, Jen, I am gonna send you a link because it's not looking like they're gonna show up. So, and my voice is already starting to strain. I can feel it. So whoops, I sent you the wrong link. I sent you a link to the stream. Hey, hang on a second, Jen. Don't pay any attention to that. Boy, I'm just having a day, ain't I? Can't get woke up, and my phone's messing up. Everybody that tries to call me says they just get this loud squeal, and they hang up. So it sounds like I'm going to have to get a new phone. There we go. All right, link is set, Jen. It's sent. Iceman Northern. I live in northern Minnesota, and we still have 3 to 4 feet of snow. Yeah. I wouldn't like that. I mean, I'm no stranger to snow, certainly here in Indiana at all. We have got our share over the years for sure, but we do get spring. Like I said, though, it's no guarantee. I have seen it snow during the 500 race, and that's in May. So, it's no guarantee, but likely as not, it's done. Hey, Jen, what's going on?
Had too much, other than the struggle of Costco, which was interesting. It was more interesting to talk to the people who work there than anything else, because they're opening. Well, our Costco's are opening an hour early because they're trying to meet the demands of people rushing in to get toilet paper and anything paper related, because that's every cart had toilet paper, boxes of tissue.
Well, I worked yesterday, and I was not, during the periods that I'm not busy, there's a chair all the way at one end of our counter behind the counter that I'll sit at. Our counter actually surrounds me by 3 sides. It's not
This
like
this
open
is
other sides.
this is a good point. I made it as a joke to my mom this morning, and she didn't really quite get it because she's not a gamer person. Necessarily watch zombie movies because everyone's been comparing this more to a zombie apocalypse than anything else. I don't think I've ever once played a game in a zombie apocalypse setting where they actually had toilet paper.
No.
No. In any movie, they never discuss toilet paper. I'm always like, you realize that between the zombies and you just being filthy, what's going to kill you sooner?
And that's actually going to be one of the first issues you cross. What do I use to wipe my butt with? I mean, think about it, because you all got to poop, and we poop usually on the daily, so it's not going to take long to run out of the toilet paper.
Yeah, so they were discussing that. I've seen some threads on Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that, like people talking about which leaves are.
Yep, I'm a redneck. I'm a redneck, so I can recognize plants. I do know my plants. I know which ones definitely not to wipe your butt with, unless you want severe butt itch for the next couple of weeks.
But there's also like, if you really were hurting that bad, you might have to designate a washing cloth. I'm just saying, you can clean those. They are renewable. They're still gross, but people do it for baby diapers. So,
I've been out in the car, and everybody has at least one experience like this, probably. You're out, you're away from home, and it hits. There's no bathroom nearby. You got to pull your car over, run off into the, edge of the woods there, and take a dump. And it just happens. you know.
Yep.
It's happened to me like it has everybody else. And in that case, you just look around for some litter.
See, for me, it was when my dad, because as a girl, my issues usually with traveling isn't to do with the number two. It's always to do with number one, because as a lady, my bladder just doesn't effectively work properly.
Well, as an old man with prostate problems, neither does mine. So,
Right? So you get it. But the difference hands you a bottle to pee, and you're like, well, at least you've got something that can kind of do that.
yeah. Grilling
And you're
pirate
like, Dad,
grilling pirate pizzas, pull off to the side of the road and say goodbye to those pair of socks. Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I would. Yeah, it beats pulling my undies back up on a poopy butt. Ooh, no, not gonna happen. But yeah, you're right. They don't discuss it, and that's going to be one of the first issues that pops up for them. Right up there with getting food and drink, potable water to drink is going to be how are we going to wipe our butt.
it's one of those during The Walking Dead. I never really focused on that show that much, but like one of the people, like the main characters, was like he was a redneck, so he knew how to survive without anything anyway. Of course, he did
That's
fine.
my boy Darryl. That's my
Right?
boy Darryl. If you could see, and I could probably show it to you if I was on doing something other than Streamlabs. My desktop is a picture of Darryl with his crossbow. So yeah, he's my boy.
But it's the truth though. Like it's one of those things where I hang on to my dad for a reason. It's because A, he's done several survival courses, and B, he's grown up as a redneck, and yes, he's a city boy now, like he has been for like probably half of his life. But that doesn't change the fact that he still knows what he does. And I know that his library has instructions on how to make bows and arrows and things like that. So I'm just like, well, worst case scenario, I'm going to be reading a lot of books.
Lindsay says everybody loves Darryl. Of course they do, but I have special reason because he's he's playing a fellow redneck, and sometimes he's the smartest one of the bunch.
Yeah, yeah. It's a thing that a lot of city folk don't realize, that like when you're living out in the middle of nowhere, where the person you have to rely on the most for everything is you.
Yeah.
So if you can't do that, then you're gonna die.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In case of zombie apocalypse, if you're a city folk that don't know much, find your redneck to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be all right. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, that's something I agree with John. Like my dad's always kept like a kit of things, like just in case he had problems or if he had to park somewhere overnight, or like so he always had a kit, and my mom always had a kit because of him. So like, there's like toilet paper, there's a health kit, there's a spare need just in case, worst case scenario.
Well, yeah, when I was young, my mom and dad always, of course, that was in the old days of carbureted cars and all that. And we were poor, so we had old cars that broke down. I remember when I was a little kid at the house we lived at, my dad had an old 55 Chevy station wagon. That was the family car, 55 station wagon. And he had two other 55 station wagons up next to the house that were used for parts. So we had three of them to make one, So yeah, you drive old cars and they're junk and they're apt to break down. So you carry blankets, you carry a kit, you carry what we called a breakdown kit. And that's just what you did, But
yeah, for my dad, it was more of the fact that he hit a moose one time, and that's really all.
Oh Lord, was there anything wrong with anything left of his car?
Well, it was a truck, so it was a pretty good GM truck, but I think he said it was like $2,500 at the time, and this was early 2000s because it was like one of their anniversary trips.
He got off lucky. He
did. And the moose got up and just gave him a dirty look. Like,
yeah.
He was more concerned that the moose was going to turn around and come back, actually.
But yeah, what I started to say before, I was sitting at work yesterday. during one of my slow periods. I was sitting in the chair, and which is at the end of the counter, closest to the windows, because we're in a strip mall. So you got those big windows in the front of your store, and at the other end of the strip mall is a family dollar store. They sell groceries and all that. And I'm watching people go in and come out, and three-quarters of them are coming out with toilet paper.
Yeah, see,
And
this
I'm
was
just
this is
sitting
the
there
thing. Like,
laughing.
I mean, I admit that I told my mom to get an extra pack for us because we usually get them from Costco. So she'd initially had one of those, and then we got an extra pack. And like my reasoning wasn't because of the coronavirus; it was basically just because, and the conversation with Costco confirmed that they're stocking everything every day. They are making
Oh, lost you,
it
Jen.
so fast.
Lost you there for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing, and I had thought about too, because these idiots are panicking and they're buying it all up, and they're going to be out of it. So if you need toilet paper, you better get you some.
But what he told me is if you're going to get some, come early. Come when the store opens because they're running out before like they only get so many shipments during a day and they only have so much time to put it out, So like once it goes out, that's what they've got. And he told me like since this whole craze started, it's been nonstop. So like yes, they're ordering it in, but he's like, listen, you guys are wasting your money and we're just we're going to keep stuff what businesses do, but it's extreme.
Yeah.
And the hand sanitizer people too, like, people were going away with half a cart of hand sanitizer. And it's just like, listen, there comes a point when you're overdoing it,
Yep.
and you really shouldn't use that much hand sanitizer in the first place. Like there's a lot of things that happens with hand sanitizer. It dries out your skin, which means that you're more likely
absolutely.
You're going to get more germs in the cracks in your skin than you're going to kill. Because you're going to end up in a position where you're going to have to repeatedly use it. It's not a solution. The solution is to wash your hands. Yes, use hand. Like the thing I did when I got home was I washed. And yeah, like there were elderly people wiping the carts down, and that I have no problems with because if you're in that age bracket, yeah, you should be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, there are. And by the way, you are roboting really bad, Jen. But there are people that are high risk, such as the elderly, and I get that, and there should be precautions taken on their end and on those of us that might have to interact with them. Absolutely, take precautions. But panic, no, this thing isn't worth panic. It's not the second coming of the plague or anything like that. This isn't Captain Trips, which that's a reference for Stephen King book, The Stand. For those of you that are fellow fans, this isn't that. It's not going to wipe out.
It's funny. He tweeted about that too. I don't know if you saw that, but he was like, "Listen, guys, this isn't anything like The Stand," and people were attacking him. Oh,
have you even read the book? Yeah, I wrote it. Yeah, so it's this is not, it's just not, this is not worthy of this panic that it's receiving. Do you owe it respect? Sure.
Yeah.
The same kind of respect I would for me, this is my personal opinion, I'd give it the same kind of respect I would if I'm around somebody that has the latest strain of the flu and I don't want it. Like, you stay over there and I'll
it's the same with my
wipe
parents.
down the door handles.
Even if I think I just have a minor cold, I don't go to visit them. If I think I'm a little bit sick, I don't go to visit them. Because even if it was just a minor flu to somebody who's that age group can be a hell of a lot worse. At least my parents are in fairly good, they're in fairly good shape, but like my mom just had knee surgery. My dad's been going through a huge diet shift because he's having problems with digesting different foods. So yeah, he's at risk. I don't want to lose him. In case of a zombie apocalypse, I need him alive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm probably in the higher risk category myself, because they say people over 60 are at higher risk, and I turned 60 in 10 days. So, and the virus isn't going to care when your birthday is. So yeah, and I'm still not panicking.
Although I will confess that I did read a tweet that Trudeau posted an hour ago where he thinks that his wife might have it, so they've decided to quarantine the two of them. And I was like, I hope you do. And I was like, I should be ashamed of myself for hoping for ill on somebody, but I'm like, I hope you do.
Jay Poitras says Philly cheesesteak omelet for breakfast. That was good. Oh my gosh, you just made me hungry, Jay Poitras. See, now you're responsible for making sure that I get one. If you're going to talk about it, did you bring enough for the class?
He's a cook too, so I could just picture that. Oh,
did you bring enough? If you're going to talk about food, because I do love food.
I have to admit, I've been watching this. I don't know where she's from. She's Asian of some kind, and she's adorable. But she has 7 cats that she makes homemade food for, and I'm watching her cook for her cats. I'm like, they eat better than I do. Like shrimp, king crab, salmon. She makes it all handmade, and like the one cat's like, listen, lady, I like the stuff in the can. I'm jealous. I wish I could do 7 cats, but then I would have a certain kind of label.
Pat says, who's ready for Jason tomorrow? Did I miss something? Jason who? The only Jason I can think of is Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees.
Link to the Cat Lady show?
Yeah. Which reminds me, you all know that I love horror movies. I've talked about it enough time. Oh, it's Friday the 13th tomorrow. Okay. Well, I don't pay attention to what the day. I had to pause a minute ago to see how long my birthday was, because to look at the date on my computer. So it didn't register with me. One day's about to, because I might have to work any of the 7 days of the week. So one day just doesn't mean nothing to me anymore than the next.
Functional.
Anyway,
I went to a Costco. You should point your finger at me and laugh.
Anyway, you all know I love horror movies and so forth, but I was watching a video a few days ago, and it came on an ad for the Shudder channel, which shows only horror movies and stuff, and I guess they're doing original content now and everything. There has been a second part made to The Devil's Rejects. And I'm like, why? That movie was terrible. And the only reason I can think of is because it's Rob Zombie. It's Rob Zombie. Of course, we'll put it on our channel, Mr. Rob Zombie. Oh, that movie sucked. Oh, it sucked bad. And we all know that remakes usually suck worse than the original, and so I can't imagine how bad this one is, because the original sucked. I'm like, the whole time. Oh, I even forgot to turn off the ad to X out of it. I let it play because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm lost in my thoughts, like, why? I forget what I was watching. May have been it was probably one of the Neebs gaming videos. I had got way behind in this busy schedule that I had, and got way behind on their content, like 15 videos behind. And so one day, a few days ago, I caught up on them all, which took a while because their videos run anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. So
yeah, I watch those, and sometimes I watch their podcasts too. But I admit I'm not in the same boat because I don't have the excuse of actually having a job, but I haven't watched them in a while. I still follow them on Twitter all the time, and I gotta say, Simon makes me feel hungry all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the sandwich man. He sure does.
I'm just like, I could probably figure out how to do what he's posting too. And I'm like, dude, you have no to somebody who's broke. But yeah,
Michael Hatfield says they have a cult following, and I'm sure he's talking about the Rob Zombie movies. Yeah, I know they do, but I don't get it. And I'm not against cheesy horror. I like the old grindhouse horror movies from the 70s that his style is supposed to be based on. I'm not against that. I like those. But it's just that his movies were awful. They were terrible. And yeah, those old 70s grindhouse movies were cheesy. They absolutely were cheesy, no doubt about it. But there's just something I like them. Whatever it was he was reaching for, he missed it because his were terrible. He needs to stick to music. Kyler, have a good day at work. Glad you stopped by, buddy. Appreciate you.
Later,
you
Kyler.
Should play Terrordrome. It's a fighting game that has horror slasher movie characters in it. Yeah, I probably would have to. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, I like the movie, John Connor. I'm not one of those fanatics that would go to the theater showings of it and talk to the screen and throw toilet paper and all that stuff, But I do enjoy it. Dr. No says, what is your favorite 2010s horror film? Oh, good Lord. I would have a hard enough problem figuring out what happened in the 2010s, what came out in the 2010s. That's my problem, is figuring out when they come out. There wouldn't be many, John Connor, because there just hasn't been that many good horror movies in a lot of years now. In a lot of years, I'm thinking since the turn of the millennium, it's like they've just suddenly forgot how to make good horror movies. And we've had this conversation many times before, so I won't get us on it for too long here, but there just hasn't been a lot of good ones, in my opinion. Cynically, yeah, I've been to a screening once of Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was different. It was different. I will say that.
Yeah, my prime minister is self-isolating. In translation, folks, this means he's on holiday again. Because he's been on holiday since probably last October.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jen, I'm going to jump up and get a cup of coffee real quick. Sure. And I'm not even going to mute myself. That's just how short it is, because it's only like 6 steps to my coffee maker from here. So I'll be right back.
No worries. How's everybody doing, chat? Are you staying safe? I'm sure you are. I'm really not that worried about it. Like I said, as long as you're being cautious and, maybe pre-order some stuff because people are morons. Like I warned Functional's girlfriend, I was like, maybe give heads up for medication that you might need, that kind of thing. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he has, because I suspect that he's probably bisexual at the very least, if he's not somewhat gay, because it's really hard to tell with him,
And I'm back, which you could probably tell because I know I accidentally bumped my mic when I sat down. When I got my new computer, I also ordered a pair of earbuds, and we've had this conversation. I wear earbuds instead of earphones because my ears stick straight out, and I can't find a pair of headphones that are comfortable. They're actually painful to wear if you have ears like mine. And anyway, I bought a pair that have a 6-foot cord on them because I was tired of, accidentally pulling them out whenever I turned my head. because the cords are short. But the problem with this long cord is now sometimes when I get up, you get you have a hard time finding the end that you put in your ears because it'll fall on the floor and you're pulling on the cord like, where's it at? It's almost got too much cord. Hey, all you need, how you doing? Cynical Lindsay, you're right. Wash your hands frequently, and if you're that worried, avoid large gatherings. Right? Just don't panic. Good God, panic at this point, people, is stupid. I'll just call it what it is. It is just stupid. Concern is fine. Panic is not. Right, Jen? Hello? Jen. Did she take a break and I didn't hear that part? Or I think we might have. She's still in the hangout. Oh, nope. She's gone now. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Press F for press F. Yeah, for respects. Oh, no. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Gulf City, Johnny Blaze. Sunita is getting kind of annoying too. I don't know why. Why is that? And then I'm not worried even a little bit. Yeah, well, good. That's my outlook, Iceman Northland. Why worry? Worrying about it and panicking ain't going to keep you from getting it. It's just not. I wonder if her internet went down or something. Or it might be Canada is censoring her because she's not agreeing with the politicians and all that. Her computer has the coronavirus. Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to catch up with chat. I also had to unsub from Tim Pool. The hyperbole was getting old. Are they panicking over the whole coronavirus thing? Is that what's going on? Gulf City, Johnny Blaze, and Cynical Lindsay? Is that it? Because, yeah. I honestly, for updates on the virus, I just let it come to me. Whatever comes over the radio. Bob and Tom do talk about it on occasion. Their opinion's the same as mine. Like, this panic is stupid. You all are idiots, and all doom and gloom. Yeah, it's just there's no point in that. There's no point in that. And if you have a platform, even a small one like mine, I think it's irresponsible to potentially cause a panic, and to get people wound up. I just don't understand it. Calm down, calm down. It just be like Alfred E. Newman, from Mad Magazine, the guy with the buck teeth. What, me worry? No, I'll try to keep this going while we wait for Jen to sort out whatever problems she has. Tim is a skater girl. I never watched Tim Pool, and I know who he is, but I'm just barely even familiar with any of his content. I've never watched. But there have been people, not over the coronavirus thing, but there have been people that I have had to unsubscribe to, that I'd been subscribed to for years. And I won't mention names at this point because it's been a while. And my phone is going off. And okay, I have to. Now that I've took on extra responsibility, I've got to be extra sure that I'm checking it to make sure there's no text from my boss. Because, it comes with it. Jim Bean says, I haven't listened to the Bob and Tom show in over 10 years since moving to Texas. Who is still left on the show? Actually, just about everybody except for Bob. It's called the Bob and Tom show. But Bob hasn't been on the show for probably 10 years. He retired. There's a fella named Josh that has taken his place and does an okay job. He's a lot younger. He's a lot younger than even Tom, but it's still very much enjoyable. You still have Chick McGee. You still have Christy Lee, who I went to school with. She went to my high school. She was actually a year behind me. So, yeah. She actually interviewed me once for the school radio. But yeah, Bob retired, getting up all that, and he just didn't want to do it anymore, I guess. And you can understand that. That they have to get up really early to go do that show, like 4 a.m. Hey, W.R. Croston. Boy, I'm getting a little concerned about Jen because, well, of course, she's got an old beater like I had for computers, so it might take her a while to reboot it. But I'll keep an eye out and keep watching for her. On the radio, love Wayne. I'm on the radio. When I was a younger man, before I had way too many Marlboros smoked, there was lots of people told me I should have been on the radio. But yes, I was on the radio. I told that story. I'm pretty sure I told the story of when I was interviewed. It's a story of when I was in high school and I declared war. Seriously, declared war on the rest of the world, and it made the radio. If you're not familiar with the story, and if enough of you want to hear it, I'll retell the story, but you have to let me know. It's an amusing story, or at least people seem to think it is, and I think it is. But yeah. Do it. Shiograd Jim Beams is tell it. Canadian PM's wife is undergoing coronavirus test. Is under volunteer. Is it okay if I also share the stream on Twitter, John Connor? Yeah, to do it. WR, yeah. Thank you, Willie Billy the Hillbilly, for this donation. 10 pools on a 7-year red pill. IV, probably another 5 years on it before it's done. Yeah, I get that. Iceman Northland says, yeah, tell it again. Okay, I'll tell it. And I'm sorry if you've heard the story before and you don't want to hear it again, but I'll tell it. And I'll tell it as quickly as possible. But it is a good story, so it's going to take me a minute because it's got to be told right. When I was in high school, and y'all know I'm a big history nut, and that didn't just start recently. I was a history nut when I was a kid, so I majored in history, and I only had to minor to graduate at that time. I only had to get a minor in history, but I went ahead and majored in it because I love history. And there was a class called World History, which was a year-long class. It was 2 credits. And it was very sought after. In fact, there was a waiting list to get in that class. This is in high school. And the reason is that back then, they've stopped doing it now, unfortunately. It's a shame. I would have liked to have seen them still be able to do this. But part of being in that class, that at a certain time of the year, you would get out, if you were in that class, you would get out of class for a week and just go to the gymnasium and be part of what they called LUNA, which stand for the Little United Nations Assembly. And you would be part of a delegation of one country or another. And the governor of the state would actually come in and gavel in the session, the first session on the first day, and you'd get out of class for all that. And it was a big deal. It was covered on the local news, and it was very popular. But at some point along the way, they decided to I don't know how long ago they got rid of, but I do know I have heard that they no longer do Luna. It's just a shame. But anyway, this would have been about 1976, 77, somewhere in that area, because I was a junior. This is a class you're supposed to get as a sophomore. That's how big the waiting list was. And I couldn't get in as a sophomore, so I got in as a junior. And I got picked to be on the delegation for Uganda. Now, if you're not familiar with that period of history, Idi Amin, who was the leader of Uganda, uh, was our big nasty bad guy of the day. He was enemy number one for America. And do you know the way? Yeah. And in fact, our group even got in a little bit of trouble. We got investigated by the FBI, and we even had to talk to them because, being dumb kids, we didn't know. And this is in the days way before internet. So we sent out mail to Uganda trying to get information on their country, to be able to do our thing right. And the FBI is like, okay, why are you trying to correspond with Uganda? They're our enemies. Hey, we're just innocent students trying to do a school project. Sorry. Don't shoot us. Don't arrest us, please. Anyway, so little United Nations came, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. You got to learn how the United Nations works and how assemblies like it work, and you had to learn all the protocol and all how to get recognized for the floor and how to conduct yourself on the floor. All that is very interesting, very, very, very fun, very interesting. And there came a day where there was like 5 or 6 people. I don't remember exactly, but there was 5 or 6 people in my delegation, and all the other people decided they wanted to go to lunch and eat. But you had to have somebody, because the assembly didn't break for lunch. It kept going. So you had to go in shifts. I thought, well, okay, well, I guess I can handle this. You guys go ahead and I'll stay here. You go to lunch. And while they went to lunch, and like I said, at this time, Uganda was really big in the news then. It was enemy number one for America. If you weren't there, if you aren't familiar, you just don't know. He really was. At that time, Idi Amin to Americans was kind of like the Ayatollah and Gaddafi, and all those guys rolled into one. It just really, there was a lot of hateful rhetoric going back and forth between us and Uganda. And oh, wait a minute, I think I may have got a it's Alex. It just sent me I guess he's going to be here. Says he's going to be there shortly. All right. But anyway, so while everybody was at lunch, there started to be a resolution going around on the floor to sanction the country that I was the delegation for, to sanction Uganda. And, it's like, and I got a little bit aggravated. It's like they waited till I was by myself to do this. And I'm like, hey, hey. And at first I was kind of sitting there and I was taking it, and I was, just listening to what was going on. And of course it was America and England and, all the usual allies, and just something snapped in me. So secretly, while this is going on, I started going around to some of the third world countries and other African countries and the Middle Eastern countries, and like, look, I want to form an alliance here, and because I don't agree with this, and they don't have the right to do this, and blah 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 blah. So, long story short, I went around and formed an alliance with all the countries that they didn't like, and we all got together and formed a new Axis power. And then I stood and was recognized by the floor, and I declared war on all the Western nations in the room. which nobody in the history of Little United Nations had ever done. You should have seen the teachers. Their jaws dropped to the floor. The whole place went quiet for like 2 seconds. And then there was just this biggest buzz like, what do we do? What do we do? We don't know what to do. This has never happened before. So leave it to me to be the first to do it. And it caused such a big stir that the local TV stations and the local radio stations got wind of it. And they actually came to the assembly and interviewed me. So I was on the radio and the TV, and they were asking me, like, why'd you do this? And I'm trying to explain it. And of course, at the time, my hair was really long. I had hair down to the middle of my back. And the worst part is that my dad was at work, and these guys come to him, oh my gosh, ain't that your son on the radio? Ain't that your kid? And he goes, what are you talking about? And he got to listen, and they had the radio on at work. He worked at the post office. And it was me giving an interview explaining why I declared war on the rest of the world. And he's just like, I don't know who that is. But they let it go on for a little bit. But it actually got so heated that the teachers had to step in and say, you know what, we got to call an end to this. Call it. No, it's no. It was fun while it lasted. And funny enough, after that, because I guess they'd never thought about it before me, after that, they made a rule that you were not allowed to declare war. So it was the first time and only time that it ever happened in the history of Little United Nations, and I did it. So there's the story. There's the story. I still don't see Jen, which concerns me. I bet her boat anchor of a computer pooped out on her, because I know she's got an old clunky one. But I'm still keeping an eye out for her, and keeping an eye out for Alex. Theodore Winch Ginger says, oh my God, I love this story. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Shandi W says, if you can't declare war, they shouldn't be able to use sanctions on you. Exactly. But, but that was me, and I've always been that way. I've been different. I didn't think about that. It just only seemed right in my mind at the time. If they can sanction me, I can declare war on them. And I went around and got other countries to back me up. Sorry about that. Let me get a drink here, because I've done a lot of talking. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Throat got just a little dry there for a minute. But yeah, I was on the radio and on the TV, and I have made the front page of the local newspaper before, of the Indianapolis newspaper. Thoughts on the NBA ending its season due to the coronavirus? I understand it, but I think it's overkill. I think it's panic and overkill. I think all this canceling of events and so forth is just overkill. It's already here in the country, and no, I'm not saying that you should do stupid things. It's just obviously going to make it worse. But I don't know. They have to do what they have to do, and if they're willing to lose the money, because that's a lot of money they're going to be losing. I did see where the NFL said that they're not going to delay their season at all. So whatever. If they're willing to lose some money, then hey, that's on them, because they'll take a pretty big hit. Oh, and there's Jen back. What happened to you, Jen?
It was a series of a lot of unfortunate events, which has been pretty much my last 2 weeks of this month.
Oh,
So, like, my internet went down, and I was like, okay, well, I have to go pee anyway, so I'll just go up and check with my brother because he's got the modem in his room. And I was like, well, I'll just unplug that, go to the bathroom, and come back and plug it back in. And I'm like, okay. And then I get back to the computer, and it's like, still not doing anything. Like, it was being a little bit wonky.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I'll just restart my computer because sometimes that's all it needs. Go to restart it, and it's just like, yeah, you need to update. It just went through 2 different updates, and I'm just like, really?
Oh,
I miss the day when they asked you, because I don't mind that they need updates. I'm just like,
oh, you talking about Windows Update?
yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me too. Mine's set up is supposed to go off at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that when I'm not going to be up
Yeah.
on it. But still once in a while get to where you need to do this update. I don't want to do it right now. I'm playing video games. Shut up.
Like it used to do that. It was just like, if I know that in 2 hours, I'm not like, I mean, we're done in the stream in less than an hour. I'm like,
Right.
I just be like, okay, well, in an hour from now, I can absolutely go take a nap. I have no problems with that.
Iceman Northland says, Jim, blink twice if the government is listening in on you. Because I told him maybe it was the government shutting you down for talking out against Trudeau.
I wouldn't at all be surprised. But like a lot of people are probably, like I said, we're torn between thinking that Trudeau probably just wants an extra holiday.
Yeah.
Or legit, he thinks he has it. And then, like I said, it's not appropriate to wish harm unto others. It's just...
You missed my story though, which you've probably heard it before, but I told a story to fill the time until you got back. It was my story of when in high school that I made all the local radio and TV stations because I declared war. So, yeah, but. Yeah, that's my big claim to fame. I made the front page of the Indianapolis newspaper, which is not a small newspaper, or wasn't at the time. All newspapers are pretty well small anymore. The day the newspaper's over, but yeah.
Harm is making fun of eyebrows. Yeah, because I didn't realize he was using fake eyebrows. Like, whatever, whatever. He's just a vain guy. Whatever. I have this theory that he just wants more time off because he's really obsessed with playing his daddy dating sim. Because I think the whole look that he went for was like legit from one of those characters. And he's exactly the type of weird mentality to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought it might have been an internet thing, though. I did tell him that because the way you were roboting before, right before that, and yeah,
it's usually something like that. At least with me, it's just lately. Like I said, the last 2 weeks have just been like, if I touch anything, I'm afraid it's going to explode.
I get you.
I laugh at it though. I'm the mentality that, you know what, it's always somebody's turn to deal with that kind of crap. So I kind of laugh at myself for it. So
if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all.
Right. I think the worst thing that happened to me this morning was dropping my coffee, though. I think that was the worst thing because when it was, just before Costco, and my mom and I were just like, we're both half asleep. Let's treat ourselves to a cup of coffee. So we went to Timmy's, and to be honest, it was probably the worst cup of Timmy's coffee that I've ever had because it tasted burnt. Which I'm sure you've had that before. Gone to maybe a store.
Oh, sure, it sits on the burner too long.
Yeah, it's just like, and the milk and cream that milk and sugar that I put in it. It makes it worse, actually. When the coffee's burnt and you add stuff to it, it makes it worse. It just like highlights it. It's like, look.
Well, sugar to me. Shut up, Alex. It doesn't alert me, and I've been looking back and forth.
Hi, Alex.
Hello. How's it going? Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh,
I just got here.
Why are you fucking saying? All right, yeah, go on, get out then. Get out. Go on, go away. How's it going?
Well, we had a late start to the stream because I laid down for a nap, and if it hadn't been for my manager calling me, I wouldn't have woke up when I did. But that was at 2:25, and the stream starts at 2:30. So yeah.
Am I still banning people because of words? Oh, let's have a look. Let's go see if you are banned on my channel. Or was that one of my mods that timed you out?
Oh, I don't know.
Because you know, you act like a dick in my chat. You get timed out.
You know, the thing with the blank icon, it just reminds me of the upper half of Mr. Popo's face. Every time I see it, and then I keep thinking there should be a smiling face underneath. I would totally do that, you know.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
Well, you missed the beginning of the stream, so you missed why it's got the title. So for you, I will reiterate, and you'll want to know anyway. I'm about to get real busy for a couple of weeks. Starting, my manager called me last night at work, and she was drunk as heck, by the way, but you could tell. But what she does on her own time, that's okay. You know, she called me from home and said that starting this Monday, I finally get to start my training to be the assistant manager.
Yeah.
So that means I'll be getting the pay and everything. But it also means that for 2 weeks straight, I'll have to work Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to supposedly 1:30 p.m. So I'll have to be there at 6:30 in the morning. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean for the streams, because even though technically the schedule says 1:30, I see how the managers work, and I'll be surprised if I get out of there at 1:30. I'll be really surprised. But if I do, I'll still be able to stream. If I don't, then you all know what happened. And then after that 2-week period is over, then it'll even out a little more. You know, it won't be as hectic and as full of schedule. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I was starting to think that they had forgot about it.
Be back in a moment, mate. My son
right.
walked through the door.
I'd really started thought they'd forgot about it. You know, because there hadn't been any more words since I'd talked to her about it initially, and she said okay. But yeah, I guess they were just waiting for the right time. And Pat says he'll have my back just in case. Yeah. So if there's no stream here, there will be over on Pat's channel. So look for that. So
I tell you what, Bloodwing, if Trudeau comes down with the coronavirus and that solves all of my problems here in Canada, I will start to believe in God.
Oh, here's something for you. You all may not have heard, and that I have heard on, speaking of the coronavirus, on Bob and Tom. There is an Ayatollah over in Iran that is claiming that if you take violet extract water and dab it on your rectum, it will keep you from getting the virus.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that was exactly my response. Do you hear what I just said, Alex?
No, I was just sort of
okay. I heard it on the radio the last couple of mornings. There is an Ayatollah over in Iran. Now, to be fair, he's considered a goofball even in Iran. This Ayatollah, this particular one. But there's an Ayatollah in Iran that is claiming that if you take violet extract water, water, from squeezing violets, I guess. I don't know how you get it. But if you take that and dab it on your rectum.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah, dab it on your rectum. You will avoid getting the coronavirus. That it's a cure.
No. No. Just no.
So let's all go out and buy our violet water.
No. The fuck? What? Why?
I don't know. How would you even think of that? How would you even think of getting anything and dabbing it on your rectum?
Well, I mean, Philip DeFranco's got his brand new toilet roll that he's shilling.
Yeah, I heard that.
Fucking puns.
I'd rather buy Belle Delphine's water. Pat says, "Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But why would you even think of dabbing anything on your rectum unless you got hemorrhoids and it's preparation H or something? I don't know.
Wet wipes are,
Yeah,
they're good. They're good.
yeah." I thought that was hilarious. But to be fair, this particular guy, and he claims to be an expert in Muslim medicine. That's what he calls it, Muslim medicine. But even he's considered to be a crackpot even in Iran. So if Iran thinks you're a crackpot, then you're really a crackpot.
Yeah. If Iran is saying that kind of shit about you, then you should probably reassess your life choices a little bit. Wow.
And Brad says a dabble do you? Yeah, that used to be the Brill Cream commercial years ago. A little dabble do you?
Yeah, that is a creepy thought. Sorry, I'm reading a thread on Twitter, but this guy's like, Trudeau's UN plan: infect Canadians, kill off weak and elderly, empty their homes, reduce unemployment, stop them from making carbon, free up their saved money, give homes and money to newcomers.
Oh, Eric Peters, thank you, because that reminded me of something that's going on. It says, "Darn, I need to go to the weed store." It's not legal here in Indiana, and will probably be, as red as this state is, will probably be one of the last states to legalize it. It will get legalized eventually, but we'll probably be one of the last ones. I went into work yesterday, and my manager is unboxing all this stuff that looks like jars full of weed. I'm like, "What is that?" And she goes, "It's legal marijuana."
In a jar.
Yep.
How much is it like?
It's like the size of a hand cream jar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's $40 for a jar.
Yeah, it's usually about 3.5 grams.
And it's supposedly marijuana with all the THC taken out of it.
Okay.
And we are now selling it.
Yeah.
And I actually, yesterday, for the first time in 38 years, I actually sold a joint.
He's doing it legally now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pot doesn't. You're not going to get the THC high. It's all for the CBD.
Yeah. That's what it is. But I'm like, that's real marijuana, and it is. You can smell it.
Yeah, it still stinks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we got it in a glass display right in Point of Pride, right next to the cash register, right on top of the counter. Right. And they just got the display set up when I started my shift, and I already sold the joint. So
Wow.
That's kind of a really good thing, because like it's kind of one of those complications between our border right now. It's like if you're an idiot in Canada and you ordered your pot online, and I'm sorry to tell you this, that there is a good chance that they could check you for it, and stop you at the border. I was going to a place that does sell it legally. It is a government run, and even then, I don't know. Like they could still check and be like, "Well, you've got purchases on your account."
Well, we kind of had that conversation. We were talking amongst ourselves, and I'd be kind of embarrassed to get pulled over, or afraid to get pulled over with this, because how do you explain to the cop that no, yeah, this is marijuana, but it's the legal kind?
I when I travel with it, because like I don't smoke it in public. I'm not about to do that. I figured the best bet is to treat it like it's booze, So if you're just carrying it to get home, or you're going to somebody's house and you're going to use it there, where you're legally allowed to do, you keep the receipt with you.
Yeah.
And don't put it somewhere where you're going to have easy access to it. So like I walk everywhere. So my purse has an inner pocket that I can lock. So I put it in there and then I lock it.
But it's got different It's got different flavors and stuff. You've got just the regular, and then you've got, I think there was a cherry, and there's some kind of Hawaiian, and
That's
some
how you
kind
know you're in the U.S. They come
of
flavored first.
yeah. And then there's some pre-rolled ones, which is what I sold. They were like $11 for a single joint. $11. I'm like, really? Wow. But it was an older lady that bought it. Not too much younger than me, and I said, let me know if that works for you, because yeah, I'd be interested. If it might help with my pain and my problems, yeah, I'd be. I mean, we already sold the edibles and the creams and stuff, the CBD oils, all that stuff.
Yeah, we did things in reverse. Like we finally got edibles, but we don't have all of them. Like right now, all we really have is like tea. There's butter makers, and then there's we can get chocolates now. I know in Ontario they've got the the other like gummies and things like that.
But it does make me think, when it does, if I'm still working here and it does go legal, I'll probably be selling pot again. This time legally.
That is funny.
It is.
That's funny. So how are you both anyway? How's everything going?
Doing fine.
I would do a lot better if I wasn't living in Canada. I love my country, for the record. I do. It's just like I said, I'm sort of not secretly hoping that Justin Trudeau does get the plague. I have no problems with that. I do feel bad for his wife, though. Like I don't particularly like her either, but I don't share the hatred for her that I do for his her wife.
Well, he's not out licking Muslim shrines and stuff, is he?
I like the way that you thought about that for just a moment.
Well, I suspect he's bisexual at the very least, if he isn't more gay than anything else, because like he legit looks really weird around men, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like, if the dude was looking at me, I would kind of get where his thoughts were going if he was looking at me like that. I'm just saying. The body language is weird with him. But at the same time, like I said, I don't have any hatred necessarily to his wife. It's more directed to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just another excuse for him to take time off, though.
Me, I'm doing all right. A little aggravated that it looks like I'm going to have to get a new phone, because everybody that tries to call it, my manager was trying to call me earlier today, and everybody that's tried to call me the last couple of days says they just get this high-pitched squealing noise sometimes when they call, and they just hang up. They can't hear me. So, yeah, must be something with my phone. I've been due for an upgrade to my phone for quite a while. I just don't want to. I'm one of them people like, this one works fine. Why do I want to upgrade it? It works fine.
Upgraded. Finally arrived today.
What did?
My upgrade.
Oh, for your phone?
Yeah. I hated my Chinese communist spy phone, the Huawei, with an absolute passion. And now I have a Samsung S20 Ultra.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. It has bubbles on the screen which move. I mean, I haven't got past that, really. Too obsessed with the bubbles.
Yeah. Alex, the Lawrence Welk of the cell phone generation.
Trust me, I've gotten to the age now where, new technology baffles me. But no, it's okay. It's louder. Sound quality's better.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I was talking to my wife. She says, I don't want to upgrade because all the new phones are bigger, and I don't want a bigger phone. Okay.
I kind of get that too, because ladies' fashion doesn't always come with pockets, and it's really stupid.
Yeah.
And it's something that a lot of women have actually legit complained before to like people who make clothing for years. And it's just like, listen, we do stuff that requires that we carry things around sometimes. So pockets are kind of friendly and nice and we like them.
Mine almost never goes in my pocket anyway. I carry mine in my jacket pocket, and even at work, it stays there. I hang my jacket over the back of the chair, and it stays there. I carry it in my hand when I go places, and then set it down somewhere.
Yeah. The other thing though is I when I got my last phone at the time, it was a Huawei, which I need to replace because I hate Huawei with a passion. But they didn't have proper phone cases for it, so I think I'm a miracle child because I've had this phone for almost 5 years and it's never had a casing on it.
Well, I have to have a case on. My hands shake terribly, and as clumsy as I am, I have to have a case on mine, and it has to be red because there's no other color. Yeah, there's no other color but red. Yeah. In fact,
exists.
Yeah. In fact, my wife just got her tax check back, and she was nice enough to buy me one thing that I wanted, and I wanted a new controller because my old controller, I'm hard on controllers, and for some reason, the left thumbstick always begins to stick at some point. You push it forward, and then it just stays there. So when you're playing a game, your character's creeping all over the place because the thumbstick's messed up. So I bought a new controller, and it's deep red.
Nice.
I likes it.
Well, at least that makes it easier to find.
Yeah.
For some reason, the rainbow crap that my brother picked out a lot of things for me because he thinks he knows what I like, and it's always some bright pink thing. And I'm just like, listen, I appreciate the present, and I'll take it and say thank you. Like, because I am appreciating it, but I really don't love pink that much. Pink goes well with other things. It's not, I don't like it as like a solid color. I like it in paintings, Oh, look, it's a flower garden. Look, there's pink in there. That's nice.
She aggresses, but presumably you're not wearing ladies' pants. I'll never tell.
Ooh. Those come in red too.
Are you gonna kink? Are you gonna kink shame me? So what if I like to wear ladies' clothing? Yeah, it's my business.
Yeah, he is free. Let's do it damn well, please.
That's right.
I mean, come on, he's like nearly 60. We should be expecting it at this point anyway.
Oh, Lord, I just got a vision in my head of me wearing women's underwear. That's not a picture that I want in my head.
Wiki's like, you got the hacker model. He's not wrong, but at the same time, though, nobody's going to see much of anything in my phone other than pictures of landscapes, because that's the majority of what I do with my phone, other than phoning my mom for rides. So,
Shio, you still on the birds? Hey, I'll defend my bird watching. I love my birds.
Surprised you don't take pictures of trains, to be honest. But
I'll fight you. And my cardinal actually come out to say hi yesterday morning. He came out and sang to me on the pole when I got out of the car from taking the granddaughters to school, and he sat there for quite a while singing to me. So, yeah.
See, the fun thing for me living in the city, because you do get some wild birds, but it's the odd osprey that we get. Like, we get quite a few ospreys in our area, and it's just always neat to see them.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they're hunting mice, but
yeah, you wouldn't think so with me living in a fair-sized city. Indianapolis is no New York City, but it's about 1 million people. So that's good size. It's not a small town, You wouldn't think, but we get quite a few hawks around here. And even a buzzard or two. You'd be driving along and look, and up on top of a telephone pole, there will be sitting a buzzard. And I'm like, okay, I'm not dead yet.
I think the funniest experience that I've had living where I am, because I'm right next to one of our national parks, like Fish Creek kind of goes through the majority of our city. So sometimes you do get a little bit more wildlife that crops up from it. So I'm coming home, and I look outside, and these crows and these magpies are having a fight. I'm like, okay, well, they do that sometimes. They just chase each other away. And then these two ravens pop out of the the tree. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I see what they're doing. They're ganging up on those two guys. Okay, I see what's going on. And so I go up to my apartment, and my brother's like, what's going on outside? I'm like, I don't know. There's a bird fight. Do you want to go have a smoke outside and watch? You're like, sure. So we go outside, and an owl comes out of the fucking tree. I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. And I'm like, that poor owl. You poor guy.
I don't know if I've ever, I'm sure I've mentioned it, but actually crows and ravens are my favorite birds, which is odd to people because, their call is so coarse and not pretty. But I'm just fascinated because they're so smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one tattoo. Alex has seen it. It's been years ago, but he's seen it. I have one tattoo on my chest, and it is of a raven. So, yeah.
Well, it's a thing that I've thought for the longest time, that a crow would actually make a really good parrot, because they are probably more intelligent than a parrot.
Well, they can talk.
Mm-hmm.
If you split their tongue, they can talk.
Yep. And they absolutely are clever. Like, I've seen them go through puzzles and stuff, and they definitely do have a way of understanding what you're doing or what you're saying.
Oh, I get so tickled sitting here in the neighborhood and watching them. And, they'll want to they'll steal eggs from other birds' nests,
Mm-hmm.
to eat. And there'll be a murder of them, which is a group of crows that always, how do you get that name for a group? Well, that's a murder. How do you get that? But anyway, I'll watch them, and they'll send one to aggravate the birds and then lead them away from the nest. And then the others will come and raid the nest. I'm like, I just get so tickled. Or sit out here and watch them aggravate cats, because they will just aggravate the cats in the neighborhood to no end.
So my understanding of the difference between a raven and a crow, first off, there's a huge difference in size. Like, a raven is probably 3 or 4 times bigger than a crow. Like, it's absolutely noticeable. Like, the crows look like babies in comparison.
Yeah, but they are very closely related. They're in the same family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think crows are a little bit more clever, though. Like, I don't doubt the cleverness of ravens, but I've seen crows run circles around ravens, and it could just be I'm smaller. I have to be a little bit more clever in this situation, but I don't know. I like all of them, though. I like pretty much anything that shows a decent amount of intelligence. I automatically like them. It's like dogs and wolves and horses. Like, there's that kind of sense of, like, yes, we're not using words, but we kind of understand each other a little bit.
Folks, you know how it is on this stream. I was trying to I made it to the last stream without going. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom.
You're fine.
I'm sorry. So I'm trusting y'all to behave and keep things going while I'm
There's
going.
a shock.
I'll be right back.
Well, how are you doing, Alex? I hear that my Prime Minister's soon-to-be ex-wife might have gotten sick from going to London.
Yeah, the coronavirus apparently is. Well, they don't know. They said it's spread. Their estimations were between 5,000 and 100,000, which isn't a very good guess in my book. But so yeah, apparently both of my son's schools are very likely to close in the next week or so.
Yeah,
for a period of a month.
Oof, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's starting. Well, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to this Corona stuff.
It's been building up since December at the very least, but like I still feel like, yes, be cautious. I mean, you should be cautious because I mean you have medical issues that might have. I don't know. I'm not
going
doctor,
outside. You must be mad.
But
walk.
For the kids, it's mostly just like a month out of school is a long time, and my parents used to buy little games for my brother and I in case on the off chance that we would ever have to spend a couple of weeks off because of a strike or something, and it was like Roger Rabbit maths and English and earth studies and things like that. I'm like, I don't know what people do nowadays. Like, it's not like they don't come home with something.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Well, I'll fucking deal with that drama when we get there.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm all right. I've accepted that I'm gonna have to wait a bit to find out, what's up with me. But I have sent an email to I forget what they're called now, the patient liaison team, to act as my advocate in this situation, to move their fucking asses with the diagnosis.
Yeah, so you can.
Because they're more than happy to leave me until July. You see.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Is it time now? Am I allowed to say, as the American in this hangout, social medicine for the win?
Do you know what? When I've gone on one on Twitter about it and stuff, I got to hear some pretty terrible stories about your healthcare as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're saying fucking much better.
Of course there is. But you know me, if I've got you give me an opening, I got to get in there.
Well, this is why I pestered the patient liaison thing. I didn't even know they existed. Yeah, so I've got to send them another email.
Yeah, Shio says that Weeb's school is transforming into an online-only platform. For some of that, I think it makes sense. For a lot of the colleges and schools, like if all the teacher is doing is sitting there and doing a spoken demonstration, you can do that on a video at home.
Real quick, thank you, Willie Billy the Hillbilly. Surprised your favorite car isn't a Firebird. I do like Firebirds, but no, my dream car would be a 68 Goat GTO. That would be my dream car. But yeah, I have drove an old Firebird before. Lord have mercy, they ain't no joke. I was just out of high school, and my first job was I was a lot boy for a used car lot. That's the guy that goes around, washes the car, keeps them straight, pretty much does whatever the salesman needs him to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had snowed some. There wasn't a lot of snow on the ground, just a little. And they wanted me to straighten up the front line. And one of the cars was a 4-speed Firebird. I never did get that car moved. It had too much power, and it just sat there and spin on the slick pavement. And I was just idling it. I wasn't even giving it any gas. Like, oh my God, this is going to sit right here, guys. Sorry. Had to wait till the spring thaw to move it.
My apologies. I haven't had dinner. Vanilla Bear just brought it through the door. So I'm just trying to be quiet.
You ain't bothering me. You know me. That's J Kid.
Not that I've said much on the stream anyway.
That's J Kid that hates that. That's not me. You're not.
No, I hate it being on stream. There's terrible stream etiquette. I used to sound drunk as it is.
Yeah. It don't bother me. I'm hungry myself. In fact, when I get off here, I hear a couple of chicken salad sandwiches calling me a name. And that's only because the chicken salad's already made.
Phoebe just opened the door with a plate full of food. I'm like, oh.
How's she doing? Is she doing all right?
Yeah, she's doing all right, bless her.
That's good. She's great. I love that little video that you clipped in the dirty stink eye she was giving you.
What?
On Twitter, the pictures you took the other week.
Oh, you mean my day out when I went to go and get my MRI?
Yeah, when you were giving her a hard time and the dirty stink eye she was giving you. She's awesome.
Yeah.
How'd you get so lucky?
Don't know.
That's okay though. That's good that you've got her in your life and stuff like that. So I don't even know where I'm going here. I'm half tired because of Costco, and I'm half tired because I've been running around dealing with government stuff too.
On this stream, we never know where we're going. That's the whole point of it. It's just wherever we end up.
It's like all those back dirt roads that you go down, and you're like, where the hell am I going? I don't know. But if I pass somebody's house more than twice, I'm going to stop and ask.
We used to do that as a kid. My mom and dad would say, okay, time for a road trip. And what that meant was we would pile in the family car, whatever it was at the time. And they'd done this for years. They would just get the bug to go, and they'd just pick a direction and drive. And, if they seen a road they'd never traveled down before, they'd go down it. We go all over the place, just wherever the roads took us. That's where we went. So yeah. Gulf City Johnny Blaze says 69 Mustang Shelby GT500 is my dream car. I get you. I've just never been much of a Ford guy. I've owned a few in my life. I'd had an old Torino that was pretty nice. I liked it. And I've had some other Fords, but I've just never been much of a Ford guy. I don't know. Nothing completely against them. It's just the appeal was always toward the GM and Mopar end for me. So, yeah.
Sorry, blood. Come on here. I have barely said anything. I'm eating now.
It's okay. You're not bothering me, man.
But what are you eating?
Chinese.
Chinese? Oh, I'm jealous now. I haven't had Chinese probably since my mom's birthday, so that was October.
So Chinese, huh? So you're not only going to get the coronavirus from eating that, you're going to be hungry in a half an hour.
I'm too powerful to get corona.
It can't beat the gay.
I'll just gay away.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's okay. We'll just throw him some limes. He'll be fine. I don't know why I find that funny.
I'm a creature of habit. Anytime I eat Chinese, I usually order General Tso's chicken. I just like it. So, yeah.
Yeah, accurate description of that movie.
What? Get off my lawn, Gran Torino?
Yeah. Well, when I see the fucking cover, I'm like, Bloodwing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's probably one of the reasons I like the Cardinals so well, because like I said, they're very territorial. They come back to the same territory every time, and they're very territorial about it. In fact, I was watching my Cardinal this morning, and there was this tree just across the street that had a whole bunch of birds sitting in it. Because it's spring, it's that time of year where the birds are all flocked up. And then he flew in and chased them all off and sat in that tree by himself. And I could just imagine him saying in bird talk, "Get out of my yard."
Are you gonna be available to do the birthday stream?
I'm supposed to be off both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday's mine, Saturday's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Not this Saturday and Sunday, people. A week. But I'm supposed to be off that Saturday and Sunday. I'm still trying to make up my mind. I'd until my manager talked to me last night, I thought I might drink a little bit and might have a drunk stream on my birthday. But since I have to be at work at 6:30 the next morning, I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Show us the boxed wine. Show it.
Well, yeah. Hey, and I'll get some October. That was a good month. I'm not a wine snob. I like it. I actually like the boxed wine better than I do the hootie hotsy totsy stuff. The snooty hootie stuff.
I find the same of wine and cider really. You have to spend a little bit more to avoid the heartburn. But I'll drink it. I'll drink the heart. Well, I mean, I won't. So I don't drink anymore. But back then, I would have drank it.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Well, you know me. I rarely drink, Alex. I did 2 times a year, maybe something like that. I might have a couple of drinks. Just don't, because I find I get the headache too quick, and it's just not worth it to me. If it's gonna make my head hurt, it's not worth it. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I'm not a heavy drinker either. It's like if I have 1 or 2 drinks and I drink them too fast, if I don't stretch them out and have water in between, it just makes me feel ill. I'm like, so when's the fun part start?
Which is a shame because I really like beer. I know a lot of people don't, but I'm one of them people. I really like beer. I like the taste of it, especially a good dark beer. I love a nice dark beer. But it's got to the point now that before I'm even done with the very first beer, I'm getting a headache. I don't even have a buzz yet, and I'm getting a headache. And I'm like, this is not worth it.
Strange. It's strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's accelerated hangover.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm still playing with the idea. If I have some sense about me, I could still have a few drinks on Sunday and be okay Monday morning. But that's the problem. When I drink, I usually don't have any sense. So because I get to the point where this tastes really good, I'll have another.
I would make a poor life joke like you should bring Satsu on because he always has 2 cents, but that's your level or cryptic level. Sorry.
Gender's terrible.
Sorry, I was due for one of those. It's been a while.
That's okay. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter. Well, I know you two did, or I know at least Jen did. I didn't see if you've seen it or not, Alex. You're like, I had a conversation, and this was for real. I had a conversation this morning. I was telling dad jokes as usual as I'm taking my granddaughters to school. Was trying to cheer up the older one because she was in a bad mood for some reason, and she wouldn't tell me why. But anyway, the 8-year-old says, "You're funny, Papa," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't know whether."
I saw that. I gave it a like.
Oh, did you? I said, I don't know whether that's a insult or a compliment, sweetheart. She goes, "Oh, it's a compliment. You make me laugh," and my heart just melted.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
It's that and Satsu's baby picture with Aaliyah giving the judgy look. And I'm like, I don't know that she's giving you a judgy look, but when she was a baby, she sure did. I think that's mostly because she couldn't see you.
And a little bit later in the ride, the older one, who was in a bad mood, like I said, got a little snarky with me. And I said, "Hey, don't you get grumpy with me. I'm the fun one, remember? I'm the fun one. Don't get grumpy with me."
Not today, old man.
Well, I did finally find out what was wrong with her and why she wouldn't say, because she didn't want to say anything in front of the other girl. You all know, and not to bring the chat down, but you all know that their father passed away, late last year. And that she just found out that her other grandpa, who she did not have any relationship hardly with at all because they were not good people, but her other grandpa passed away. And she doesn't know why, but for some reason it affected her. And she didn't want to say anything because so far the 8-year-old doesn't know that he passed away. And she wanted to not tell her. So I did find out, but and life's like that. Sometimes the things you don't expect will have an effect on you.
So stuff in my face.
Yeah, that's all right. You keep stuffing. Like I said, I'm kind of hungry too, so I understand it.
Yeah, I'm already full. I don't know why I'm still eating. Like, you know what Chinese food is like, though. It fills you up super quick, but it makes you hungry again later.
It does. I mean, I know that's an old saw, but
it does,
it's true.
I'll be hungry again in about half an hour.
There's a Chinese buffet not too far from where my church is, and I haven't been there in years, but now you've got me wanting to go there because they got some of the best food. I'd really like to have some egg drop soup, which I dearly love. Oh, and thank you, Cryptic, who's got to chime in with "That's racist."
I was waiting for you to chip in or say something, Cryptic.
Yeah, we figured you were secluding yourself because of the virus. Is that racist? Love you, Cryptic. Excuse me. Smoke another one, old man.
I hear ya. For me, anyway.
Yeah. And, oh,
What's Chairman Mao fucking gobbing off about anyway?
I don't know.
Shut up, Cryptic. Yeah, you know what? That's your fault, Jenny's here. You told that shit joke, and now he's here.
If you
fucking
tell,
summoned him.
if they tell it, he will come.
Yeah.
And thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. That Warius made my eyes round. Okay.
The wariest made my eyes round. Are you wary? Are you? I think he's still jogging all the time, so I think he's not worried about anything. He's like, I am the champion of my journey.
He's Chinese Forrest Gump. He's been running for years now. I've no idea. He's like senile as well, you know.
Chinese Forrest Gump. Let's imagine that. Life is like a box of egg foo young.
Yeah.
That was pretty much me last week because I went swimming for the first time in like years because I'm legit still trying to lose weight and exercise is a good way to do it. And I come back all proud of myself and everyone in the chat's like, so about that coronavirus. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, he was referring, I guess Elwin is translating and saying that he was referring by Warius is virus. This is his way of saying it like a Oriental person would say. And yes, Cryptic, I know you're not Chinese.
I'm
Speaking
good.
of anal, should we I assume you've all seen, well, I mean probably not you, mate, but Jen might have. He saw Megon's big video on Gabe.
Yeah, I mean I seen he had it out, but I know I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it yet, but I do mean to. I've been neglecting Omegon for a while, and I feel really bad because I used to watch
him like he's a pet.
Well,
I haven't fed him in a while.
He's the poor squid guy, you know. I mean, I know underwater dwellers don't eat as often as like I think it's a different system of digestion, but you should still throw him a carrot every once in a while. Sorry, I've been watching the odd YouTuber who does like tank videos with bottom feeders, and I know he's a squid man. So, but yeah, okay. I have to watch his video. I have a couple of years I have to catch up on too, though, because I've been.
I wouldn't do that.
And thank you once again, Cryptic, for the donation. Better than that 1/4 broken darky you got on. Hey, he had to get his licks in. You know that. Lesser Logic. Hey, Leving, how you doing?
I can't believe I just called Megan a bottom feeder by unintentionally.
Why
if he's watching
Zero
this,
super chat, he should be dead by now, right?
Yeah.
But bottom feeders do, which are like those little weird.
Are you calling Cryptic a bottom feeder? You know,
no, I'm calling to Peter. Eric Peters was saying fish don't like carrots. No, there's a couple of guys who run tank videos, and they've got these little bottom feeders, and they're like baby fish, like the first thing they are when they're born. They barely look like fish. I call them the bottom feeder fish because that's what they eat. They eat garbage off the floor.
Well, yeah, carp and catfish, and they're all bottom feeders. Yeah.
Yeah, they eat vegetation and shit from the bottom and everything else, right? So, yeah, I've seen them throw in carrots, and they like the fish will literally sit there eating the carrots until it's gone, and like the ones he had were like fluorescent, so like you could see the carrot inside them, and I think that's why he was doing it because it's like, look, my fish are now neon colored for the next couple days.
Okay.
It's a little disturbing, but yeah, it's like shrimp. You know what I mean by shrimp. Like they have a poop trail.
Lovely.
You didn't know that? Oh gosh. If you see black
I just eat them. Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
I just eat them, poop and all.
All right, well,
Well, anyway, I don't think Gabe will get the message. I really don't. He won't. He'll be back as always.
I've been staying out of the whole Gabe thing. I just don't want to get involved.
That's fair enough, mate.
I really don't.
Even I was extremely hesitant when I started seeing screenshot after screenshot after screenshot.
Well, it's not that I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because
No,
I'm
I didn't say
not.
that, mate.
Yeah,
Because I was like, I'm not looking at those because I know, like, I'm not digging into that. And then after a few days, I was like, well, I better add then.
yeah. I just kind of feel like, okay, you've exposed it, you've beat him. Now let's stop beating this dead horse. It's dead, guys. It's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now it's not. No, it's not dead at all. And this motherfucker. Oh, excuse me for a moment.
Yeah, I haven't really been following the Gabe saga, but I haven't really been following a lot of like the internet drama. I do occasionally read up on stuff. Like I know about the fight between Keemstar and Jeremy, and then Keemstar's got another fight with some really dumb chick.
Just you're talking about the internet and you say really dumb chick. Well, that takes in a lot of people.
Pretty much, she's trying to claim that he's used her work when the claim that she's got is from his videos. It's one of those things where she's trying to make a claim for a chance to sue him for something when it's just clear that she would lose on it. So I don't know that much about it. I know Monkey did a quick talk about it the other day. Other than that, I haven't really since the last blow up of drama. I've kind of avoided most of it. Like I listen to hear, see what's going on, but I don't want to go past that.
Yeah.
Because like the last time drama blew up around me, it was like Kraut and Tea, and I had nothing to do with it. So.
Yeah, that was very, very messy.
It was. Yes, it was.
So
very messy.
Yeah. So that's kind of why like I said, like I'll skim the surface just to see what's going on. And if Gabe is a piece of shit, I'm glad to know that. But yeah, I would leave it after that, just because it's just another person to maybe avoid a little bit.
Well, as somebody that Gabe would talk to in DMs quite often, and you can ask Alex because I'd be talking to him and, oh, Gabe is driving me nuts. I'd say that quite often. And I knew that he was a very socially awkward, strange guy. Just was.
That's how I viewed him, but it's a bit more than that, unfortunately. He's a very calculating, manipulative little shit. Well, I say little, I mean the guy's a big, fat, cross-eyed, ugly fuck, but but he's also extremely manipulative, and the fact that he fucking just outright just disrespected me like that when I tried to approach him about this shit to give him the opportunity to, give his side of the fucking story. He hits me with a copy pasta. You taking the piss, Gabe? No. I stood by you when you fucking sent pictures of your big, fat, disgusting body with a bra on to an underage girl, dickhead. And you go do me like that and do a Megon like that. I'll be blocking a Megon straight away as well without even talking to him. No. The guy's a piece of fucking shit. And I'd learned stuff after Megon's video, which makes me even sicker. Which I ain't going to talk about, but because I do need to go soon. But
I'm sure you did, and I've been making a conscious effort of late to just avoid any drama because,
and that's probably a good thing, mate.
I just need to keep my thoughts positive right now because my life, and you all don't know all of it, and neither does Alex and everything, because I'm kind of like that. I don't talk about everything. My life's in a little bit of a rough place right now, which is okay. I'm a survivor, but I don't need all the drama. It doesn't make me feel good.
That's kind of where I am mentally. It's like like I said earlier this week, I had a little bit of like a freak out because they've tipped so many trains in my country, and it's always the ones with the oil tankers. The last one was a truck. Like, I guess the truck was dinged by an empty train and it was leaking everywhere. But with so much of it going on, I was eyeballing where the tracks go by my place, and I'm like, you know what? I couldn't get away. I'm screwed. And that having stuff like that in my head and then going to like internet drama is like, no.
Yeah. But having said that, and not because of the conversation, but it is now, we started a little late. It is now 2 hours, so it's time to end the stream.
Yeah.
And this is time for me to tell the chat, as usual. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the likes and shares, and even for the 2 dislikes. I didn't see Duck Dog out in the chat, so not sure who those are from. But hey, it's all interaction. But thanks everybody. Appreciate you. I really do. Jen, thanks for coming on. Short notice. Anything you want to shout out?
No, I've just been like wandering the internet and being lucky because people like to invite me on sometimes. So I appreciate being invited on, and it gave me a chance to talk about, like I said, don't worry about the toilet paper, guys. They're bringing it in all the time because idiots are buying it. So
I guarantee Philip DeFranco's making a lot of money.
Does he have a toilet paper brand?
Yes.
Does it have his face on it?
He's not going to put his face on the toilet roll, but if that was the case, I'd pay for the nose.
Yeah. He'd probably sell a whole heck of a lot of it then.
Yeah, he would, yeah.
Alex, as always, thanks for popping in, buddy, and sharing your meal with us.
I didn't even eat half of it, mate.
Well, eat the other half as soon as we're done here, dude. Come on.
Well, I'll be hungry in like in the next 20 minutes. I'll start getting hungry again.
Need to put some meat back on them bones.
I'm under 12 stone, mate. It's not happening.
I know, scrawny little sucker. Anyway, anything you want to shout out, bud?
Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch in 20 minutes.
Okay.
I'm doing a reaction stream. It would appear that even the community that I now exist in has their own version of tag, or so I think. So I'll be taking
tag the atheist gamer.
Yeah, I think that might be the case with one of them.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, she made a video yesterday having a crack at the biggest creator in that corner of YouTube, and it really felt reminiscent of the bearing tag thing. I was like, I don't know.
Talk about cringe. That was the cringe of all cringe.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that hurt to listen to because you could hear bearing was circling like a shark.
And I was there for it live, and yeah,
I was watching it live. Yeah.
As for me, I am scheduled off on Saturday, so I am planning on streaming on Saturday. So there should be a stream Saturday. Look for that. And hopefully I won't sleep to the last second, and we'll get the word out on Twitter before the stream this time. Sorry about that, guys, but I guess my body needed a rest. But anyway, we're at the end of it, and I'm done talking. My throat's getting sore from all the talking I've done. So get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.